Hey everyone, guess what? Reviewing the Banshee Ver.Ka Master Grade.
Take two.
Hello everyone, guess what? We're reviewing the Banshee Ver.Ka.
This video is brought to you by GundamHanger.com. GundamHanger.com offers Canadians a limited selection of premium Bandai kits along with tools, handpicked by the staff to bring you the best of the best. Expect secure packing and fast shipping along with flat shipping rates all across Canada. They believe in fair prices for everyone and they're here to put those ideals into practice. If you're in Canada, go and visit their site.
Alright, so hey everyone. Now, great times. I actually had the privilege and awesome time to actually build the Banshee Master Grade Ver.Ka. And now this is, as the Ver.Ka, is different from actually the base of the anime version. It has quite a bit of visually difference from the actual show. It's actually Kotoki's version, which is also based on the manga. So hence there might be some variance if you look closely between the illustration in the box and also versus the show. But now let's get to the model itself. I built this unit technically under 8 hours. I sort of sped through it. It's really neat. The fact is I got to build both the MGEX with the guys already once before, and then now I get to build the Ver.Ka. So now my experience is really similar by all means, but there is quite a difference between, notably, when I put the two and two together. Plastic quality and everything, really nice still. There's a undergating wise, like this is definitely an older kit, so you do have to take some care on the outside parts, especially around the legs. The legs, I can't believe, from either series of the Unicorn, it does take a lot of time to build, so take care and sort of be careful on sanding and try to clean up the nubs. Size comparison, let's do that one. That's the easy one. If I pull off the MGEX comparison to the Banshee, believe it or not, the Ver.Ka is actually slightly taller overall. Actually, the legs itself, I find it's a little awkwardly, but it's proportionally longer than the rest of the body. So I know, Jess, you probably look at it and say, what the heck? I know the proportion is disproportionate, but by all means, there's a lot more gimmicks I find when I actually had to transform the legs comparison to MGX. Saying that, I'm actually overall really impressed with the fact is there's so much to these kits. And I know everybody, you see in the Fanics, all the Unicorn series, they're all copy paste. But between the MGEX and then versus the actual Ver.Ka, because of the LEDs that's inside actually of the MGEX, it's actually quite a bit more sturdier, hence not much to shake up. And then my guy, this a little bit. There's a few more openings in here that I didn't have to check out and be careful with, that when I actually had to transform this guy. The cockpit itself was a little bit more tighter than the actual MGX when I actually had to pull and transform it. The clickability and everything, so be aware. I understand the transformation is not always the easiest between a lot of the Unicorns, but do you know what? Once you have it, it's so cool looking. And I could sort of see you will have to sort of keep your manual unless you somehow magically memorize every single portion of how it's supposed to transform. Now, without have to deal with the MGX and the LED wiring, I actually have a lot more freedom with posing this guy around. So over time, it might wear out a little bit, but I have a hard time seeing it so far. So far, it looks like it's still very sturdy and it aged pretty well for itself. All the weapons similar as what I saw already on the MGEX. We all probably seen the videos before. It's all similar pieces to it. No real big surprise. But you know what? Why change something that's already doing pretty well? So going with the weapons, same idea, utilization. You got your multi-beam sabers from the gauntlets onside the Banshee, on the backpack. And then also the bazooka, you can actually go attach onto the back. Exactly similar, always. And then you got the shield that transformed with the whole eye and shield. So all in all, pretty good. Now, what I did enjoy on the Ver.Ka side, they did not cheap out on the gold. The V-fin itself, it actually comes out with actually that nice little champagne-y goldish color. It's nice, it's pretty. It even came with the alternate pieces. Now, it's not part of the manual, but they did include it if you want to build the actual Banshee from the TV series instead of just the Ver.Ka version from Kotoki. Now, I did had a lot of trial period with building the head on this. It's not as simple as it is because of the way the golds are. You have to be really careful when you actually like sanding it. They actually have to be pretty snug. If you over sand it, I find the headpiece does come off. So if you do, sorry, you might have to glue it a little bit. But outside of that, really nice. Minimal stickers. You got your regular water slides actually out of the box. For those who enjoy water slides, there you go. It comes with it. So enjoy. LEDs, you can definitely do LEDs. I've seen people do so many different LED designs and kits for the unicorns already, so it's no surprise. It's just following it. If you take your time, follow the steps, you got all the areas to actually do the same thing. Customization, again, limitations, it's transformable, so if you try to do any customization, you're pretty much stuck on one side or the other. There's not a lot of extra room. I just find that they're so similar. But enjoy loving my MGX a lot personally. The form is there, but do you know what? She's just saying, looking back at some of the old Ver.Ka kits, the details are all still there, and also the quality of exactly of what you're getting out of the box. Like me just snap building this all together, it still shows. I have to do a little careful with the legs, but do you know what? That's very minimal for itself. I took a little bit more time to sand. Playing around and setting up the Banshee like moments ago before the video started, Alina and I actually had a struggle. So it's actually, the parts, they fit perfectly and beautifully inside the Ver.Ka kit. Okay, so when you actually put it all together, I don't actually have any qualms or issues with actually like, you know, having issues with open gaps inside this kit. But now the problem was, it took me almost like 10 minutes just to open the chest piece on this. Like it was a struggle because every single time I try to like wiggle and try to tug across it, it was a different feel. And the instructions was a little bit troubling for me to try to understand that. But once I managed to open it, it was okay. You hear a click, the surprising click. And then I was able to actually put up the little, well, one of the reactive armor parts from actually top of the shoulders. And once it's there, it basically stays basically open and it's not closing on itself. The shoulders, Alina actually and myself each did one shoulder and we managed to fold it out. That wasn't too bad. The legs are tricky. I would highly recommend that if you ever do transform the legs, take your time. There's like 14 steps, sorry, just counting in my head, to just transform one leg. So be patient and follow the step-by-step and guarantee you won't go too wrong. Nothing was too super stiff with everything else. Outside of that all in all was pretty good. The weapons itself, they're exactly the same from all the other ones. The Hyper Bazooka itself, you can actually pull off the ammo pack, and actually different from like my MGX one, I can actually properly close the actual back handle. So that's actually something really neat, and I actually sort of was surprised that I actually might swap it out later. Not to take away from my Banshee, but but there it is. The same idea has its ammo pack still on the back and everything. I'm not sure if I'm doing this wrong or right, but I did find all the flaps on the side on the Banshee itself is extremely loose. And I did not sand it really either, so I'm not sure if it was my way. I might have to stiffen it up, add a little glue in the end, or some putty, something like that, just to make sure it stays in place properly. Outside of that, once it's fully transformed, it looks outstandingly tall. It locks into place most of all the transformation pieces, so I'm not really worried about it folding back in, which is nice in comparison to my other guy here. So But outside of that, that's more or less my transformation I feel onto it. Not necessarily too bad. Alright, so we had to get into this part too. In any of our lovely episodes so far, there's always a lore segment. And even though I am part of the video, I'm going to do my lore segment for my own video. Hey? Believe it or not, Banshee, you know the Fennec, Unicorn, they're all the same model unit series. RX-0. Funny, eh? It's the exact same unit. No surprise. We all seen, you know, the different headpiece. You say, oh, they all have a different color, you know, weapon gear, but they're still actually, believe it or not, the same bloody standard unit. All the way, all three of them. They're all identical. They're brothers amongst all three. Now, the idea between a little bit more onto the Banshee itself there was actually not in space at the time when the Unicorn was found by Banshee. Actually, the Banshee was actually stuck on Earth. Funny enough, it was actually being a test pilot for the ground unit. It was actually being the finalized testing to actually outperform the original first unit, which became the Unicorn codename. So, not big surprise, they all use the same weaponry, you give them all everything, they're very smart, intelligent. Now, what makes the Banshee itself so different, the Banshee's actual codename is actually the Black Lion, which, honestly, how can you really see it? You don't really see it. Actually, you actually see that when it becomes the Banshee Norn, when it actually has a shield and its backpack actually changes to actually opens up in a psycho mode to actually open this lovely golden mane on the back. So funny enough, that doesn't actually appear until later in the anime, which is funny. And up until then, like everyone say, what is the Banshee? Why is it looking the way it does? So, but there you go. The reason is the code name for itself, the Black Lion, is actually part of the Norm piece. So, but here's a little bit of your facts for Gundam lore. Now, final thoughts. All in all, between the kit, I enjoy it. I enjoy the Unicorn series better than, well, most of my co-hosts. They built a lot of them already. The Banshee, I do really actually enjoy. In comparison from what they did with the MGEX, I gotta say, the MGEX, what they've done, they improved on everything they already had from like the previous Unicorn series. Like I built the Masquerade once before, and then now the Ver.Ka, now I built it. It's very unique. You have all the similarity. You have opposable hands, different from your like basically like switching out the hands on the MGEX. And transformation, I find that sadly and funny enough that actually the MGEX is better, but then on the actual original Ver.Ka, there's a lot more details where you never had. So saying that, you have your little bit of the trade-off. Especially when you're painting and you're scheming everything. I'm still scared of building and painting this one myself. One day I will, but but outside of that, I find that is something really unique. Would I, well, now I have two. Would I get the Fennec? Yes, I'll probably look into the Fennec in the future myself. Anytime soon? Maybe not yet. But there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.
Hey GTS fam, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like, remember to subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you can see when we put something up immediately. And if you have any questions or comments for us, leave them down in the comments. I promise you that we're going to read them, and I think we do that all the time. So yeah, we hope you guys take care, and we'll see you in the next one.